that interview over just again, and I'm going to start it at this point. Andrea, tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in real estate.
Okay, I've been in real estate 11 years. I perform at the 1% of real estate agents, which is the top 5% of real estate agents.
Wow.
That makes sense. I do it full time, so it is my job. I do help out my clients from the sale and beyond. I have clients call me all the time after asking me for questions, and I'm always here to help.
Great. And you're located in Utah, specifically the Salt Lake area, and you're telling me Park City you're an expert in as well. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. I do Park City. I do all over.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Top 1%?
Yeah. Yay.
Buying me lunch. Wow.
Yeah, right. Let's go, Bill.
So congratulations. Now, how I know Andrea is I listed a house with Andrea that was a rental, and it was just kind of a mess because I had this rental. It needed to be painted. Andrea gave me some recommendations to get it fixed up and staged. And not only did Andrea list the house, but Andrea sold the house. So here I got a listing agent, I thought, but I have a real estate agent who completed the whole deal. Tell us how you did that.
Well, I have a lot of online, I have a lot of clients basically. So a lot of clients will contact me and say, hey, I'm looking for this area. And then when I have a lead, then I'll contact them and say, hey, this is in this area. Are you interested? And then they'll come out and look at it. I have a lot of seller leads and I have a lot of buyer leads.
It was like boom, in 2 weeks we were done. But listing and selling, we got the thing done. There were no issues whatsoever working with Andrea. She pre-handled them. The paperwork was all electronic. I didn't have to go anywhere or do anything other than sign. The closing was on date at the time it was supposed to. Just went really smooth. So when somebody works for you and lists and sells the house, it makes me really happy. That's why one of the reasons I've got her on here. The other reason is I had a son pass away and I had this estate, and it's very difficult to deal with an estate. Andrea came in and said, don't worry about this. Do these things, get the house cleared out and maybe ready for show, paint some walls. And she listed the house for me. And especially when you're dealing with the estate and you're a director of an estate. And I want to talk to those people out there. If you're looking for your estate to be handled, you could lose a lot of money because you're just not in that frame of mind. Andrea kept our minds straight and really showed us where we could, maybe sell the house for a little bit more. She listed the house one night and had an offer the next day. So it closed really quick and uneventful. The guy was happy who bought it, moved in, not a big grocery list of things to do. Andrea deals with true buyers rather than maybe these mooches that are out there want something for nothing. So it isn't like, let's pay Andrea or let me get somebody that will pay to get on my show. This is a personal experience I've had with her within a year of buying and selling real estate. And you have to find people that are grounded, that'll follow back up with you, that understand the market, can talk to the client and get the deal done. So Andrea, what's going on right now? Like I'm hearing that you can make an offer on a home and there could be 30 offers sitting on a desk. Is that true? And if so, what's going on?
It's insane. In fact, I really dislike this market, I have to say. So I'll have a listing and I'll get 20 to 30 offers on the listing.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
You have a listing.
Yeah.
And you don't get like 2 offers, you get 20
to 30
verified offers. So now you got a upload of offers sitting on your desk, right?
Yeah, it's insane. And they go from asking to above 30 to 50,000 above, even if not more.
I lost one that was 100,000 over what I was asking, what I was willing to bid in St. George. So how do you advise an owner of a house the discernment to get out of 30 deals the right deal?
Well, if I'm on the seller side, it's kind of a catch-22. So if I'm on the seller side, I'm gonna work for the seller's best interest, right? I'm gonna get the best money for the seller or what the seller's interested in. If they want to get out ASAP within 10 days, then we're looking for someone who can close fast. If you're looking for your top dollar, which most of us are in this seller's market, then you're gonna go and make sure, actually you want to make sure that you can either waive your appraisal, because if the appraisal comes in less than what you're asking, you're going to have to come in with cash to meet your purchase price. So that's what most of them will do. If you don't have the funds to do that, your chances are slim, very slim, but not impossible, just slim.
You have to go get financing, forget it, right? Like if
Right,
you have to say subject to
exactly.
financing, subject to appraisal, and there's 29 more, it looks like this, there's 29 more offers ahead of you. Forget it, right?
Unless you're willing to pay the cash above appraisal.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So say you're going to finance, if it's a $500,000 home and you're going to finance 400,000 of it, and the house is, you put the house under contract for 600,000 and the appraisal comes in for 5, you're willing to pay that extra 100,000 in cash.
Insane.
I
How
know.
long is this going to last?
You know what? I've heard two different theories, and whoever they are, you always hear from they say. Some of them say it's going to last a couple years. Personally, I just can't see that the market can sustain that. I mean, these people are coming in with cash above, like we were talking about, 50, 100,000, 200,000 above. I just can't see how long people can do that and pay that. But you never know.
I am not shocked. I was thinking a year ago we're going to be in a depression with the COVID-19 and no work and everybody's having to stay at home. I'm thinking, bam, I can go out there and buy a house. Las Vegas, 30% unemployment. Right. Boom, you go out and buy. It's not true. You cannot go out and buy a house in Las Vegas.
Well, and they extended the forbearance too.
Yes.
So that makes another 6 months, 9 months.
I think when that ends, you might see a housing market change if you've got 2 or 3 million houses that are late and going to go into foreclosure. But
look at our yeah, I was just sorry. I was just going to say, look at our
foreclosure and lose money. Nobody's going to lose money.
Exactly. Hold your property long enough and it'll come back.
Okay, so here's my question. Own a house here in Salt Lake, want to retire, want to head south, but I can't find anything. I have bought property down there. What do I do? Do I sell this, put everything in storage, wait it out a year or two?
Yeah,
what do I do? I don't want to miss out on this bubble, right?
Right. So you got two options. Well, you got a couple options, a few more options. So one, you can sell because you're going to sell at the highest market we've ever had. You're going to obviously go over what your asking price is. And then you rent for a year. However, you got to take into account the money that you're spending on rent, right? That you could have put into another home.
Right.
You can do that, or you can put your house up for sale contingent on you finding another home. So they'll put your house will sell and it's under contract, but it waits until you have a home under contract.
So they could rent me back the house, correct? If they weren't in a hurry.
You could do that. That's another option. Yep, absolutely.
So
yep.
In a timeline of 2021, the longer I wait, the more I make, but the longer I wait, the bubble could pop.
Right.
And when it pops in this price range, you become a very lonely person. I've experienced that in 2008 with a $1 million home.
Exactly. And, well, and now our interest rates are so low and they're starting to climb.
Right.
So in fact, if you figure it out and you're say our interest rates are even a 1% above what they are now, but your prices are 50,000 more, you're still paying more in your monthly payment than you would be paying now. If that makes
I've never in my life seen a market like this. So can I ask you typically how many houses you sell in a month? What is the typical month?
It's going to
a good month. What would a good month?
Let's say on a probably 10.
10?
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
all $500,000 plus or somewhere
No,
around.
they'll range from, well, now it's different. The market's totally backwards now, but it'll range from 199 up to like 3.5, I guess was my other
Let's
one.
say the mean average is 5. You're doing $5 million a month on a good month.
Yeah, but you got to take into hand that we don't get all that commission either. So, I mean, I hate when people are like, oh my gosh, well, you guys make $1 million. I wish, but we don't get all that 3%.
No,
Half the time in this market, they're not even offering the 3%. So,
wow. So you're getting less, but in a lot of paperwork, you have 20 offers that you have to get back to, or 30 sitting at a typical. So if you're listing, what would you recommend? Let's say in the Salt Lake area, or in fact anywhere in the United States, because I'm getting emails in from everywhere that says the market's like this. If you're listing a house, tell me 3 things that I need to do to ensure that I will get what I want, which is probably the most amount of money, right?
okay. So first I'm going to tell you, please, please, everyone, get a real estate agent. Whoever you do not want to go up against a for sale by owner or somebody that is not represented, because all the legal is going to go back on you.
Let
Go
me
ahead.
tell you another reason why you need an agent. And this is for all the cheap people out there who think they're cheap. All the money people that are buying are following the agents. All the people that have money are in tow. All the mooches are knocking down signs that are for sale by owner or something, so they think they can get a deal. So you're going to deal with all the brain dead people by not having an agent in tow on a situation. Sorry, I'm watching that.
No, I totally agree. And yeah, I've heard so many horror stories. I wouldn't do it. So that's my first thing. The second thing is make sure you get an agent who you connect with and you feel is going to respond to you and tell you the truth. You want to hear the truth, whether it's painful or not. You still want to know the truth. And then go through your house and declutter. Just declutter everything. If you don't have the money to fix it up, just declutter. Paint is maybe $100. I mean, you can just slap on a thing of paint, freshen it up. It's going to put you in a totally different bracket.
I totally agree. The clutter is my big problem. I have to figure out, I got a floor that's cluttered.
You do not.
No.
But I will say, I always tell my sellers, if you obviously have to declutter, and if you can't afford like a pod to put or a storage unit or something like that, just use one room to clutter up, and that's fine. Like you can use your garage, you can use one bedroom, just use one space and pack it, and then you're good.
Exactly. I think that's wise advice, is use an agent, keep your house clear. Do you have to, this day and age, do you have to stage a house? Is that important? If you have pets, do you have to get rid of them?
Depends on your area. Even now, I mean, all of our areas are selling fast and going quick. But if you kind of have a little bit as a stage, it's going to look better and present better, and you're going to get more.
Oh, good. Nice. What is the biggest thing that holds buyers back from buying a nice house? Like, what do you constantly trip over when you're showing a house that if they just fix this one thing, it would be a better home?
Biggest thing, regardless of how you decorate, first of all, declutter. I mean, a lot of people cannot set past clutter. The second thing is smell. And so if you don't think your house smells, yeah, I know, right? If you don't think your house smells, have a neighbor come in and say, just tell me the truth. What does it smell like? Smell is huge. Yeah.
So should you have a candle going, or?
Always bake some cookies before an open house or a show. Do something.
That could be done. I remember buying at my first house in Utah, and they had those glade things in each wall, and I'm thinking, well, that's nice. Well, it turned out their dogs had just peed on all the rugs, right? And so it was cool when I bought the house, and it heated up, and I opened the door and just about fell over. I had to take out the rugs, I had to paint the floor, put down the floor. I mean, it was just a nightmare. So get the house smelling and looking great, declutter. Should you be around the house when they are coming through and following them?
No.
Stay behind them, telling them all great things about the house, or get the hell out of there?
No, get out. People do not want to hear from you.
They don't care. They don't care you have 2x6 construction. They
Right.
don't care that you painted that wall with latex.
Right.
Get
Or
the
they
heck
snap
out.
off
Let the
on
agent.
something. Exactly.
The agent will do a phenomenal job of asking good questions. Who's your typical buyer right now, demographically? What age group?
So
What do you
most
got
of them
coming
are
up?
from out of state. I'm going to say we have 3 main states that they're coming from: California, Illinois, and Texas. They're coming in from them by the,
Texas?
yeah, Texas.
That's incredible.
Yep. I know. And their buying power is better out there than it is here in Utah.
Yeah, no.
So,
Texas. So California, Texas, what was third?
Illinois.
Illinois?
Uh-huh.
Like Chicago?
Yeah. Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
absolutely insane. So
I know.
your recommendation is if you're sitting at home and you're ever thinking of selling a house, here's the mistake I made. I had $1 million house in Draper and I waited. I had my 2 years done. It was 2007. I waited. It was probably a $1.1 million. In fact, I had an appraisal of 1.1 and the market hit and everything went away.
I know. You're up on the east side on like 20 something. Yep.
Beautiful area.
Mhm.
There was like 40 houses that was in this private neighborhood, overlooked the whole valley, beautiful custom built home. And it probably cost me 300. What's that?
West.
I got to think of it. It's Hickory Ridge.
It was a Hickory.
Hickory Ridge, right next to the Downs place. It was a beautiful area. Every lot had a view.
Oh, nice.
That mistake cost me a couple $100,000.
Oh, I'm thinking, no, I know where your Draper. I was thinking your Sandy one. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay,
no, and I lived in Sandy, but the Draper one was a home we built. I actually built 2 homes, the one next door and in that house, and cost me, if I was real honest, probably $250.
wow.
Because my timing's right now. If you have an extra $250 in your pocket, and I'm sure I made it up here in Harriman, so like it's all relative because I bought a house that was brand new and empty, and it's a dream home. Timing is everything. So what you're saying is on a scale of 1 to 10, and I've actually watched this with Grant Cardone, who's a big real estate marketer. He says right now it'll never be like this again.
I agree. Yeah.
So get your button gear. And Andrea, you're available for listings. Is that correct? I don't want to sound stupid. Obviously, we're here, but people are going to be looking for your phone number and contact information. This could be a good time to give it, and I'll list it as well. But how do they get a hold of you?
So my number is 801-554-0579, and then I also have a website if you want that.
Okay, and your website would be what?
It's kind of long, so it's andrea.searchutahareahomes.com.
I ran out of letters in the alphabet.
I know, right?
You could be Utah Andrea and you probably get it, right?
Right, I know.
Andrea sells. Anyway, guys, if you're looking for a human that will answer her phone, follow up, tell you the truth, get it done, just get it done. That would be Andrea. If you're looking for somebody that's, flash in the pan, have a million people working for them, you'll never see the agent. There's a whole bunch of them that are that are those people, and you'll get lost in the shuffle. I did list a house in Sandy once. The guy had a talk show. Well, this guy's great. He's number one. He had my listing sitting on his desk for 2 months before he went and put it on the MLS. He'd forgotten about it because he had someone come in. So don't be that guy. Don't be looking for somebody that over promises and says they'll buy your house. It's not worth it to try to find somebody that's over promising. You want somebody that's there. When I called Andrea, she always answered, and we could text. Everything happened the way it's supposed to. So we're very appreciative of that. What else can you tell people? Give me an area in Salt Lake that I'm always picking neighborhoods over others. What are your hottest neighborhoods, either Utah County, Salt Lake, or up in Park City that people should be focused on?
Hottest neighborhoods, you know what? I have never said this before, but there really isn't one. they are hot all over. Homes are only lasting a day or two max.
I
I
remember
mean, you
when-
know, sometimes you're there a week or whatever, but yeah,
I remember
so
people
crazy.
would tell me that you bought in Harriman, you're going to have a huge supply of houses. You're not going to be able. I heard all this that everything's building, but I think we're pretty hot out here right now.
Oh,
Harriman's
you're
still-
extremely hot.
We're very good at it.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
brand new city hall. We've got all new roads, all new shopping. It's 50,000 people.
Exactly. Yeah. And you've
I'm
got
a
big.
half hour from the airport.
Oh, exactly. The
If
great
that.
thing too is you guys have big lots. You know, if you're looking for property, Harriman is a great place.
And I'm right next to a national park or a national land here. I got horses right by my house all the time, which is great. I love it out here.
That's nice.
So you sell a house, where do you go? Where do you move?
So it well depends. Are you moving out of state? Are you moving in state? Are you trying to downgrade, upgrade?
Palm trees, warm area, and where you don't have shovel snow.
And you want to stay in Utah? You go to St. George.
Yeah. This is bad.
Where else?
I'm even looking in Mexico. I've been in Mexico twice this year looking at real
Mexico
estate.
country or Mexico?
Country.
Oh, awesome.
La Paz and
Yeah.
all these areas, and they're starting to catch on. It's not as intense. It's about 3/4 of the price, and you get an ocean to look at. So
Right.
um,
Awesome.
Mexico, don't count that out. It'd be another video. But if they sold a house here, you could actually help them buy a house in St. George. Is that correct?
Good. Yep.
So you can be on both ends and help them and give them a listing. Last thing, if you're looking for a house, why should they pick you? And tell me the technology you have to show them the houses that get listed every day that could be sent to their email.
Okay. So we most agents will have the technology to send you listings every day. What I do that is a little bit different is I wake up every day and at night, and I'll go through each of my people who are hot and ready to go and see which is new on the market and send it straight to your text usually, because that's what most people have in hand all the time, right? So I'll send you the photo of the home and the information of what just hit the market. And that way, if you like it, either if you're not in state, I'll go and video it for you and send it off. And I've had a lot of people make offers and buy homes that way, which I know is kind of scary, but
Wow.
yeah.
Nice.
But you also get your advantage of, well, not so much in this market, but we'll do a 10-day due diligence as long as I can stretch a due diligence and get your house, gosh, I can't talk today, your inspection, so that you're not stuck with a huge repair on your home and you can't bail out at that time.
The inspection's important, correct?
Yes, everybody wants one.
I had a guy on my roof on the house across the street looking. He'd come, slid a window out, got on the roof, and was checking the roof. He was an inspector, right? So I think inspection's important. I like being the inspector if I can, because I'll look places the inspector won't. But that's good. So you'll
go with them too.
Yeah, that's probably what I want to do on a $500,000 investment, is to make sure that what they're looking for is things that I need to look for. So
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd be the person to talk to if they were looking for a house out of state, because you can provide the new MLS listings. Now, let me tell you another reason why I think you should deal with an agent. Your office has so many listings that maybe every week you're listing new homes, correct?
Right. Right.
Who gets to know about those first?
We do.
Exactly.
So,
you guys have a meeting,
right.
and Julie or Sam or Paul says, hey, I just went to this person's house. It's an estate. I'm just listing this house, right? So you have, I don't want to call it inside information, but you have information that will allow me to have an edge in the market. If there was a house being listed before maybe even hits the MLS, correct?
Right. Correct. Yeah.
So there are ways that you have to deal with somebody that's inside the mix. If you don't, you're going to maybe miss out on an opportunity.
Yeah.
What's the best month to buy a house?
Month?
Yeah. What time of year is good?
A normal year? On a normal year, I would say anytime from let's back up. So anytime from October to March, April is your best months to buy. This year, there is none. I mean, it's just free for all,
Yeah.
sadly.
Used to be get your house ready for summer and get that traffic
Right.
to buy. Their kids are in school.
Yeah.
The
And
last three
April, May,
homes,
June, and it's hot. But this year, it's all been hot.
it just
So
doesn't matter, does it?
yeah,
Age
no.
group, how old are these people that are buying houses?
Oh my gosh, they vary. I am not kidding. We'll get some young kids that just made great money, or are family money, come in with cash, and they're 25, 26 years old.
Oh my
Then
God.
we get the other ones that are coming down from, they don't want the big home anymore, and they want to go move where the palm trees are, and and then they have cash too. So you get all kinds.
Excellent. If I have a basement, it's unfinished, should I finish it or not finish it?
In this market, I would say no. You're gonna get so much anyway. So why waste the extra 30,000 to finish your basement if you're gonna get?
Unbelievable. Because
I
you
know,
think
it's
that would add
insane.
to the square footage and all of that, right?
And normally I would say, yeah, finish it and do the bare bottom to it, finish it. But now, no, why waste your money when you're gonna get about the same anyway?
Right? They're gonna look
Yeah.
at it and do what they want anyway. So
Right,
that's great.
exactly.
Any other
Yeah.
words of encouragement to a buyer? I guess we're going on to 30 minutes here, 27.
No, just make sure you work with somebody that you like and that you can trust. That's what I want to press to everybody, I guess. Because you work with them so closely, you want to trust them.
I can't think of, trying to think of opportunity. I've probably bought and sold 15 houses, and if I couldn't trust them, and I did have a bad experience on a couple where I had to coach, let's go get them to write an offer. And, you have to have somebody that really understands sales and won't be afraid to get somebody on paper on your property to get going. Do you see this group of people that are moving in to Utah? I've personally been looking it up, and I don't see that changing. The market could change, but there's 50,000 people a year that move in just in the Salt Lake area. 50,000. You have a half a million people every year. Every 10
And we're
years,
getting
you
more.
got a million people. They're not going away.
And they haven't. They keep coming in. I mean, that's where we're building and building. Look out in Lehigh. We're getting Facebook out there. We have all these other, we're like the next .com,
Right.
Silicon Valley. So Silicon Valley, sorry.
Now's the time. So contact Andrea. Give me your phone number one more time so we could have it up on the screen.
You can text or call. It's 801-554-0579.
And you're in the south part of Salt Lake, kind of your office?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my office is, yeah.
And you're a specialist in the Park City area. You're a specialist in Salt Lake. You know Ogden. You know Provo.
I know Ogden. Yep.
And you can disrupt things down in St. George if you have to.
I can, yep.
You can work a deal.
Yep, I've sold property in St. George, land and homes, both.
Perfect. And property might be what you might want. That'll be another subject that we'll talk about. But I ended up buying two properties in Utah, one in Beaver and one down in St. George area, because there's nothing left. I didn't like the houses that were for sale, so might as well build my own. I bet I can build a house about between $250 and $300 a square foot. So,
I'm sure.
Might as well get what I want, right?
And you can put a pool down there cheaper than you can put a pool up here.
And I'll use it a lot more down there too.
Right.
Andrea, you have been wonderful. Thank you again for taking the time. I will post this on YouTube. I'll put my TikTok teasers to get people to watch, and hopefully you can get some questions and maybe some people to work with on this.
Yeah, no problem. And you can always call me with questions as well. I'm here to help.
Well, thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you, Bill. Bye-bye.